Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Michael takes a chance, Sienna confronts Mitch, and Claire faces her dilemma. Updates and teasers for October 27th to November 14th of The Young and the Restless hint that Sienna Bacall will confront Mitch Bacall, and Claire Newman will encounter a dilemma. Here's what fans should anticipate as well. Michael Baldwin will have to make a risky decision. Week of October 27th. Tessa's dreams, Kane's warning, and Lily's fears. Lily Winters will be worried throughout the week of October 27th to 31st after Kane Ashby discloses that his AI software is missing. Kane will speculate that Victor Newman or Phyllis Summers may be the guilty party. Although fans of YNR are aware that Phyllis acquired that AI program for herself, she is prepared to give it to Victor as part of an upcoming agreement. When Kane tells Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott that the stolen program might be made public, they will become apprehensive. Tessa Porter will dream that Mariah Copeland is incarcerated after having a dream about getting heated with Daniel Jr. in her GCAC room. Harrison is excited about Halloween, Sienna is questioned, and Billy confronts him. Just as Chelsea Lawson arrives, Billy Abbott and Adam Newman will have a dispute that ends with Billy punching Adam. Kyle Abbott will question Sienna once more in Los Angeles in an attempt to obtain information that he may use against Audra Charles. But whether Kyle finds the information he's looking for or not, it appears he will eventually have to go back to Genoa City. Kyle intends to make Halloween especially fun for Harrison Abbott, who is looking forward to it. The next flight that Victoria and Nikki Newman will take is to Los Angeles. Nikki and Victoria support Noah and Sharon's danger as Claire spends time with Holden. Even though Claire thinks her grandma and mother are being a little too careful, she still plans to spend time with Holden Novak. At the hospital, Nikki and Victoria will also be present to assist Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. Sharon's attempts to learn more about Noah's predicament, meanwhile, may put her own life in jeopardy. Victor will suggest a course of action since he wants to repair his friendship with Michael Baldwin. Will Michael accept Victor's offer despite Lauren Baldwin's strong opposition? Week of November 3rd. Mitch arrives, Noah wakes up. Those bandages will soon be taken off since Lucas will be making his much-awaited debut as Noah Newman from November 3rd to 7th. Viewers of YNR will see Noah emerge from his coma, but he will be confused as he tries to reconstruct what happened. Mitch will also be showing there soon, so be prepared for him to address Sienna's rage and interrogation. The ongoing Noah problem and the flood of Genoa City inhabitants in LA will cause Sienna to worry. Mitch may assert that everything is under control, but in Sienna's opinion, he might be a little too sure. Week of November 10th. Noah is questioned. Danny and Cricket are getting ready for their wedding. The main attention will soon be on Danny and Christine Blair's wedding. The plot will progressively advance toward Christine and Danny's special day throughout the week of November 10th to 14th, albeit there will be more wedding preparations. Nick and Sharon will be investigating Noah's motivation for driving in that canyon once he has had some time to come out of his coma. Sharon and Nick will also want to know if Noah can remember any information about who pushed him off the road. However, given that he was obviously hiding secrets prior to all of this, Noah may experience some memory problems and possibly attempt to conceal certain information. Claire's intimate choice. Regarding the extent of her developing relationship with Holden, Claire must make a crucial choice. Will she stick to their casual friendship, or will she and Holden explore the thrilling and passionate world together? A portion of Claire's heart is still bound to Kyle, a love that may last forever, even if she is drawn to Holden and his unquestionable charisma. Claire will surely face several obstacles as she navigates her complex romantic life. The next 3 weeks should be plenty of exciting developments based on YNR spoilers, so make sure to check in for all the shocking updates and intense encounters. Nikki and Victoria's arrival, Sienna being grilled, and Phyllis providing protection. Spoilers for Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 are available for the young and the restless. Fans can anticipate that Kyle Abbott will question Sienna Bacall in the upcoming episode. Victoria Newman and Nikki Newman, played by Melody Thomas Scott, arrive in Los Angeles. Phyllis Summers also defends her rights. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The mission of Kyle Abbott. Let's begin with Kyle, who is determined to show that Holden Novak is not a good guy. Kyle is now looking for information on Audra Charles because he is unable to obtain any on Holden. Fans may remember that Sienna mentioned she might provide him with information about Audra. We are aware, nevertheless, that Mitch Bacall, Sienna's husband, has entered the picture. He has reportedly been absent for some time, although it is implied that they are both up to no good. Now that she was back with Mitch, Sienna could tell Kyle to go away. Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode, Jack Abbott's SOS. In any case, Kyle might not have time to obtain any intelligence. Diane Jenkins Abbott and Jack Abbott will pressure Kyle to return home as soon as possible. Everyone's eyes are on Victor Newman after Kane Ashby informed them that the AI program had been stolen. When Nikki Newman arrives. According to Wednesday, October 29 spoilers for the young and the restless, Nikki and Victoria will travel to Los Angeles. Probably going to the hospital to see how Noah Newman is doing should be the first thing on the agenda. Victoria and Nikki will also want updates from Sharon and Nick Newman. Claire Grace Newman may then be met by Victoria and Nikki. As pals, the blonde and Holden Novak are having a great time. Victoria might, nevertheless, still worry about her daughter's choices. Claire may also bring up Kyle's claim with her mother. Things are going to get really messy. Read this. Crystal Khalil, star of The Young and the Restless, is expecting her third child. October 29th, 2025, Wednesday. Fans will witness Phyllis defend her rights as well. She just wants a response, and Victor seems likely to agree. But may this have a disastrous effect on the redhead? Keep an eye on her because, despite her belief that she has discovered her calling, she is notorious for acting without careful consideration. Claire's predicament, heart versus history. The world of Claire Newman, which is typically characterized by a strong sense of familial loyalty and the legacy of her last name, starts to descend into emotional turmoil. After her brief stay in Los Angeles, Claire is back home and finds herself torn between her anxieties and her desires. A man whose magnetism threatens her feeling of control. Holden Novak is a spark of something bold and new. But her thoughts keep returning to Kyle Abbott, the man whose consistency used to feel like a guarantee she could trust. Though the heart rarely follows reason, Claire has always been the daughter who considers her options before acting, and as she spends more time with Holden, she starts to realize that her emotions for him go beyond simple curiosity. Ever the self-assured charmer, Holden asks her to relax her measured poise. Their bond deepens as a result of their mutual vulnerability as well as attraction. Claire finds herself listening to Holden's talk on loss and second chances, temporarily forgetting the Newman armor she so proudly dons. Even still, the silent pain of Kyle's absence still haunts her when she gets home at night. She remembers how he used to gaze at her as if he saw more than just the heiress of Victor Newman's empire. He saw the woman who was responsible for the inheritance. That recollection clings to you like an open wound. As they observe from the sidelines, Nikki and Victoria struggle with whether to shield Claire or allow her to make her own errors. The echoes of Victoria's younger self, a woman who once made decisions that cost her dearly, are especially noticeable. She softly reminds Claire that sometimes the mask of destiny might be worn by infatuation. Despite her admiration, Claire feels constrained by her family's meddling. Although she adores her mother and grandma, she feels as though she can never fully relax because of their unwavering watchfulness. Although her intellect cautions that men like Holden frequently bring storms, her heart tells her that he might be the adventure she has been missing all her life. In addition to being romantic, the problem is existential. Will she always be the result of the Newman family's expectations, or will she ever be able to live for herself? Kane's caution and Lily's fear. Chancellor Winters in Genoa City are tense after Lily Winters gets some unsettling news from Kane Ashby. A potential corporate catastrophe, the missing AI software Kane had been working on is more than just a technical issue. Kane names Victor Newman and Phyllis Summers as potential offenders and suspects foul play. Always the opportunist, Phyllis has in fact obtained the software, not out of malice, but rather out of ambition. She sees it as a tool, a negotiating weapon that she plans to use against Victor. She is unaware, though, that her agreement with the devil may easily backfire. Every proposition made by Victor Newman has a catch. Lily's worries go beyond the business. She sees the same recklessness that previously ruined their marriage in Kane. She worries that he will lose himself in his quest for justice or retribution as he is once again pursuing something perilous. Kane is oblivious to the emotional devastation around him because he is so focused on figuring out who stole his work. When Kane informs Jack and Diane Abbott that the stolen program may soon be made public, it throws them into the fray and has the potential to upset the corporate power structure in Genoa City. Ever the patriarch, Jack senses that another conflict between Newman and Abbott is imminent. Diane tries to calm him down by reminding him that not all wars are worthwhile. However, Jack is aware that there is no going back once Victor is involved. Genoa City turns like a chessboard as the tension increases, with every move being calculated and every partnership being short-lived. Sharon's peril and Tessa's dreams. One half of the town is occupied by corporate machinations, while another plot line is subtly developing in the recesses of the human heart. Dreams of intense, symbolic bursts of desire and remorse plague Tessa Porter. In one, she and Daniel Jr. are in her GCAC room, where temptation and desire are pervasive. In another, she finds Mariah, her wife, imprisoned, her eyes brimming with treachery. Tessa wonders what these dreams signify as she awakens in a chilly sweat. Are they warning signs of something sinister or echoes of her subconscious? She frequently blurs the boundaries between dread and imagination in her creative mind. She transforms these dreams into music, but the truth is revealed via the melodies. She feels disoriented and restless. Mariah tries to approach her after noticing the distance, but Tessa dodges and says she's okay. In actuality, both women are adjusting to a new phase of their marriage. Routine, responsibilities, and the waning excitement of uncertainty. Sharon Newman, meantime, is pulled into danger. She starts to think that Noah's unexplained vehicle accident wasn't an accident at all as she's looking into it. She is driven deeper by her maternal instincts, which ask questions that others are too scared to ask. She is unaware that there is someone who does not want the truth to be revealed. Sharon may suffer severe physical and emotional consequences as a result of her quest for answers. Billy's rage and Adam's deceit. Adam Newman and Billy Abbott, two men who have long been reflections of one another's worst tendencies, collide once more. Unable to control his rage, Billy delivers a punch that hits Adam in the jaw. Chelsea Lawson enters at the most inconvenient time and observes the mayhem. She sees it as a tragic recurrence. Two guys caught in a vicious cycle of animosity and competitiveness. Billy is shaken but unrepentant when Adam, who is bleeding but smirking, gives him one last verbal blow before leaving. Chelsea attempts to appeal to Billy's better nature, but she is worn out from the testosterone-fueled argument. Billy, however, feels cornered and snaps at her as well, claiming that Adam deserves all of what he received. However, beneath his bluster comes something more delicate: guilt. Guilt over his past transgressions, the people he has harmed, and the worry that perhaps Adam was correct. Billy feeds his demons rather than fighting them. The secret of Sienna and Kyle's mission. Always the overbearing father and agitated son, Kyle Abbott takes a plane to Los Angeles for work, but his real reason is personal. He is looking into Holden Novak because he believes the man is not who he says he is. Since Kyle is unable to dig up dirt directly, he focuses on Audra Charles, a lady whose slyness rivals his own. When he questions Sienna Bacall, her evasiveness generates more questions than it does answers, but he thinks she could have the leverage he needs. Glamorous but reserved, Sienna has her own plans. Mitch Bacall, her husband, has recently made a comeback, and their reunion is more about power than affection. When Mitch returns, Sienna must play a delicate game of deception, even though she once dreamed of being free of his shadow. She warns Kyle to back off when he pushes her too hard. She is afraid that Mitch will find out about her deceit or that Kyle's interest would lead him too near to a secret she is desperately trying to keep hidden. But her acerbic tone belies this concern. The arrival of Victoria and Nikki. The tension that exists before Nikki and Victoria Newman arrive in Los Angeles is nearly tangible. At the hospital where Noah is recuperating from his coma, they make their first stop. They feel both comfort and fear when they see him, breathing but pallid. Even if she doesn't believe it herself, Victoria whispers that everything will be all right while holding his hand. Ever the matriarch, Nikki maintains her poise while secretly fearing that her family is once again being punished by fate. They also intend to visit Claire while they wait for updates. Nikki wants to mentor her granddaughter and show her that love can be both a blessing and a curse. However, Victoria's worry is more pressing. She worries about Holden's motivations. Another Newman controversy involving deceit and manipulation is the last thing she wants. The conversation erupts when she eventually confronts Claire about Kyle's suspicions. Feeling trapped, Claire asserts that she has the freedom to choose. Victoria tells her, in a voice that trembles with mother power, that she should know better than anyone else that unwarranted love may ruin generations. The danger of Michael Baldwin. Through the weeks, Michael Baldwin's plot weaves its own moral tension alongside the mayhem. Michael finds himself on a moral and professional precipice after years of being cautious. Although there is a cost, Victor Newman makes an offer that might mend their broken friendship. As part of the agreement, Michael would assist Victor in securing Newman domination by using Kane's stolen AI technology, which would place him and his wife Lauren in hot water with the law. As perceptive as ever, Lauren cautions him that Victor's offerings are rarely presents. She informs him that he will lose more than just his license. You'll lose yourself. However, Michael persuades himself that he can outsmart Victor because he is proud and wants to regain the authority he once held. It's a risky decision that could jeopardize both his marriage and career. The subtle pain of two people who love each other but have differing worldviews permeates their interactions. Michael's risk is emotional as well as legal. Mitch addresses Sienna. When Mitch Bacall returns, the tension that Sienna has been frantically attempting to repress is rekindled. Their reunion scene is a study in contrasts. Sienna is poised but shaking below, and Mitch is dapper but frightening. He demands to know why Kyle Abbott was questioning her, what she has been doing while he is away, and who she has been speaking to. Mitch is not easily duped, even though Sienna uses half-truths to distract. His soothing yet menacing tone penetrates her barriers. At last, Sienna loses it and accuses him of leaving her and then demanding obedience when he returns. With a sly smile, Mitch informs her that survival depends on loyalty. A poisonous mixture of love, hate, and dependency emerges as their dispute devolves into emotional warfare. When Sienna realizes she's caught in Mitch's orbit once more, she sobs in secret. However, her tears quickly stop. After surviving worse, Sienna Bacall starts making perilous but covert plans for her release. As Noah awakens, the mystery grows more complex. When Noah Newman eventually opens his eyes, the hospital becomes the center of tension and optimism. It is a time of triumph and unease. His memory is hazy, and his first words are jumbled. He remembers a voice calling his name, the screech of tires, headlights, and then nothing. Desperate for information, Nick and Sharon hover protectively. They think Noah is confused when he hesitates, but there's a hint of panic in his eyes. Memories come back in bits and pieces as the days go by. Before the collision, he recalls arguing with a man. The face, however, is still a blur. Sharon feels that he is keeping something from her. Even while she doesn't push, their stillness turns into its own kind of suffering. Noah secretly holds onto a small item that was discovered in his car, a keychain, which obviously has deeper significance than he is prepared to acknowledge. Whatever secret he's holding could endanger someone he loves more than his own tranquility. The wedding preparations of Danny and Christine. Romance provides Genoa City with a moment's respite, while chaos simmers elsewhere. Christine Blair and Danny Blair get ready for their much-anticipated nuptials. Reminiscent of their decades-long journey through love, loss, and reunion, the images are filled with sentimentality. For a brief moment, the program reverts to its core themes of optimism and connection as friends come together and laughing erupts. However, there are underlying tensions even in happiness. Ever the wild card, Phyllis is unable to refrain from interfering. As she sees Danny pick a different lady, her long-buried but unforgotten love for him resurface. Phyllis's restlessness is noticed by Lauren, who cautions her against ruining the little tranquility she still has in her life. However, Phyllis, as impetuous as ever, maintains that she is only considering her own interests. Her collaboration with Victor on the AI software hangs over her like a shadow, a ticking time bomb that could go off at any time. Phyllis guards her rights. Phyllis Summers has made a living by taking chances and reinventing herself. But her most recent plan might be her downfall. She sees a future in which her name is once again associated with power and feels that she has struck gold by siding with Victor. However, fissures start to appear as she tries to safeguard her interests. Victor starts acting strangely, and Phyllis feels as though she may be in more trouble than she thought. She confides in Lauren one peaceful evening in order to get assurance. Lauren, however, will not allow her buddy to commit suicide because she cannot support her decisions. The words hurt because they are true. Every time you think you've found your way up, she says quietly, you start digging again. When Phyllis is by herself, she looks in the mirror and sees the survivor who keeps destroying herself rather than the self-assured entrepreneur she displays to the public. If managed improperly, her union with Victor could ruin her career and rekindle long-distance conflicts. Claire's emotional self-reflection. Claire's predicament reaches its emotional climax as November draws near. Her days are plagued by doubt, but her evenings with Holden are full of shared confessions and laughter. She sees Kyle's name flashing on her phone one afternoon as she strolls around the park in Los Angeles where she and Holden originally met. She pauses before responding. Although the talk is short, it is full of unsaid emotion. Kyle informs her that he hopes to see her when he returns to Genoa City. Claire has trouble sleeping that night. Holden wonders what's wrong after noticing her distance. She acknowledges that she is still connected to parts of her past, including Kyle, Genoa City, and the person she believed she had left behind. Holden says, "Claire, you can't love halfway," after listening quietly. She is devastated by the simplicity of his words. Not me, not him, not anyone. She understands then that her choice will determine not only her romantic life, but also who she is. The risky decision. The three main storylines, Claire's emotional battle, Sienna's confrontation, and Michael's risk, combine to create a thematic trio as the plot progresses: morality, control, and love. Every character must make a pivotal decision. Claire has to decide between desire and safety. Sienna had to choose between defiance and obedience. Michael has to balance ethics with loyalty. Always the puppet master. Victor Newman is at the center of it all, drawing the strings that connect their fates. The AI program turns into more than just a story device. It becomes a symbol for unbridled creativity and power. Each character struggles with control in some form, including who has it, who loses it, and the repercussions. In summary, the quiet before the storm. Los Angeles and Genoa City appear to be on the verge of colliding as November 14th draws near. Noah's fragmentary recollections offer a risk of revealing information that could damage people's reputations. Mitch and Sienna's alliance is on the verge of disintegrating. Victor's agreement with Phyllis becomes a noose from which she is unable to free herself. And Claire understands that every decision hurts someone as she stands on the precipice of love and loyalty. This cyclical tension, every triumph leads to another setback, every secret creates a new mystery, is what makes the young and the restless so captivating. The humanity of these weeks, people trying, failing, forgiving, and starting over, is just as captivating as the drama. Michael's danger, Claire's predicament, and Sienna's encounter are all retellings of the same tale, the never-ending battle to strike a balance between risk and atonement, love and legacy, and desire and obligation.